Ah yes, Peter Pan Return to Neverland. A fascinating game based on the sequel of the original Peter Pan, which takes place at around 1940, but who cares, we're in Neverland, so we're not really affected by the real world. And neither am I, because I live in my parents' basement. So this really gets my nostalgia boner going. I remember there was a PlayStation 1 version, a PC version and a Game Boy version, which was a different build. I could never finish it though, because lack of skills. We always tried. We wasted years and years, hours and hours on it. So the story is quite basic. Peter just tries to find the treasure map, because Tinkerbell tells him there is one. She said she saw Captain Hook with it. So then we zoom into the pirate ship of Captain Hook. And we see some of his pirates, who may or may not have been some Lost Boys once upon a time.
This map anymore. And without a map, there's no finding the treasure.
So for some reason, Hook cuts the map apart. I hope he has a photographic memory. The first level is next to Peter's treehouse. It's finding that little knife that Peter uses as a weapon. So we are also introduced to these flowers that either give you health or fairy dust later in the game. I mean pixie dust. And we're introduced to these feathers, which the white ones are worth 1, the blue ones 5 and the red ones 10. So then we finish the level through exit 1 that we can actually use for now. There's a few things hidden, but that doesn't matter yet. Next objective is to find the mermaids and ask them about the map. As in the treasure map. Not the one you wanna put on the electric chair. Can we go to the next location? Where the mermaids be at? Usually depicted as evil. Like in mythology or Pirates of the Caribbean. So the second level is basically a journey towards the mermaids. This is also where you can learn to use your knife and stuff. Poor little birdies. Why are they even wearing war helmets? I would also be very upset if my family ended up at KFC. We can't move the Stonehenge yet, by the way. So then we dodge a few veins and then we end up at the next ending of the level, where we're introduced to one of those little Tinkerbell flight zones. Whatever. That's how I'm gonna mock my enemies from now on. So the next level is basically controlled by pressing space. And not pressing space equals descending. Also, the audio was ear-rape here. Tinkerbell be flying through the little hole to the ending, and there's a bomb there, so you use that. Ow! Then I got a little bit pissed in the next level, so I tried adjusting the volume and trying to reset that. But eventually I found out the only way to do that was to restart the emulator. First I finished the level though. And this is the first level where you meet a pirate that used to scare the hell out of me when I was a kiddo. So the next level is the first time trail. These were the worst ones. I remember that one being with bugs, that one being with a ghost that was chasing me. Holy moly, that was the creepiest.
We just have to get through it before the water comes in. Come on!
Yeah, come on, let's gamble our life away. Anyhow, it's not that difficult, but as the game goes on, the threshold does kind of heighten. And at the ending, at the last few levels, it's whoa, this is a kid's game? I don't believe that. Anyhow, we get through and hallelujah, we make it. A little cutscene even plays. Thank you. So then we meet up with the mermaids, who snitch on the location of the first piece of the map.
Hi! At Pirate's Cove, close to the waterfall.
Thank you.
He's so polite. So we kick another pirate butt so hard he teleports into a different dimension. And we find a key which unlocks a gate to a piece of the map. So then we absorb that it's just a piece of the map and we hear someone laugh. And that's the first boss right there.
Let's go and see.
He's desperate to see Peter. Once upon a time he got kidnapped to Neverland as well, but doesn't really feel like staying. So he became an angry old man because of the bitterness in his heart, disallowing him from staying young forever. That's what you get when you don't kidnap the whole family, Peter. Anyhow, that's just a theory. So we knock up Mr. Pirate 3 times and he falls into the water. We even learn a little trick from him, how to throw a little knife. I never saw the guy throw a knife like a boomerang, but hey, I blame hardware limitations. Easy, right? So then we focus in on the skull of the island, which may or may not have inspired Kong Skull Island. And it looks like Captain Hook gets so disorientated that they should never ever find that treasure again. That would be quite a plot twist honestly, but we don't get that. Also, I like Mr. Smee. He's very silly, and he's like basically a pre-simp era simp. Then the Indian shop, I mean Native American shop opens up. Sorry guys, I don't want to be cancelled. I'm trans. Anyhow, here we find out that feathers are this universe's currency. And we can use it to purchase stuff. I'm a white girl and this sound is offensive towards Native American people. Wait a minute, he just shook his head. He doesn't agree? How can that poor soul be so discriminatory towards itself? I swear, those white people, they must have traumatized him. I mean them. We wouldn't want to assume no genders now, would we? Also, I love how he doesn't allow you to purchase pixie dust before you unlock it by beating the second boss. So then we go back to level 1, where we open a fence. This allows us to progress our story, because there is actually an alternate ending for this level, which we can then progress through. Also, that chest in the stone, it has my heart in it. Also, here's the very first lost boy that's been trapped as well, but you can only free him with pixie dust after you beat the second boss. I swear, this aesthetic of these levels alone was enough to make me piss myself when I was 7. So then in the next level we introduce two barrels. We will barely see them, so don't worry too much about that. Please clap. Yeah, I don't know who designed these levels, man. Are you sure Peter isn't just having a fever dream? Hentai tentacles. So then I skip a big portion of the level again, because I don't want to give too much away of the game. It's about the journey, not the ending. So then we level 7 out of 20, which has the switches for the very first time. The biggest pain in the game, thank you very much. So then we at the ending of the level, and we find ourselves at another Tinkerbell level. Never feed that boy chicken. But first we're gonna get a heart. God damn it, now you're just getting annoying. Also, I never explained why the guy is collecting feathers. It's for the hairdress of the chief. I swear this guy is a con artist, by the way. That thing is like missing 9 feathers and we've gave him thousands.
Try to clear the way so we can get by. I know you can do it.
I surely hope so. Though I do like how he low-key inspires the player, like, hey, I know you can do it. That's cute. So the next level is another timed one. Not in a classic way, more so that we're being stalked by some sort of like entity. This time it's just a bunch of mosquitoes, and since we don't want HIV, we try to be as fast as we can, except for at the end where little Peter has to act like a cock again. Oh yeah, we were going to the Lost Boys because they might know more about the treasure map. Also, the left one hurts my autism because he just repeats what the other guy says. So the next location of a map piece is on the beach. Very nice. No, this level is super annoying. It has a heavy wind and kamikaze birds everywhere. So then we find another map piece. Amen, brother. And then we find some of the Lost Boys again, who warn us that the Lost Boys, the other ones, have been kidnapped. Alright, let me drop some truth bombs here, guys. You're never lost. You're always on your way to find yourself again. Then we are introduced to the very first level on Skull Rock. Yeah, I used to be bullshitted a lot as a kid. They used to say that this used to be a giant who got deceased. And these were like his entrails that were like still visibly present, you know. The meat that was still on the bones. Also, it doesn't make any sense for the giant windmill to be here. Like, this isn't the Netherlands or something. It's actually the Neverland, so that's different, okay? Anyhow, I do sense quite the difficulty spike here, but it's gonna get worse from here. If Peter was aware that there were like 3 dimensions, he could just fly around most of the obstacles. So then we finished the level and we realized that we need pixie dust in order to lift up certain items because we can't just walk around them or fly around them. And we're introduced to the second boss that we're gonna fight. Like, he stole the pixie dust, how impolite of him. Also, I swear his name was Ollie or something. Yeah, all the kids in elementary school called him Ollie. So yeah, as you know, 3 lives, magic trinity. So basically he summoned some barrels to be there with some opponent thingies, whatever. You explode them in his face and you beat him. You get the pixie dust. Easy enough, right? Then we go to Captain Hook again with his little right hand man, Mr. Smee. In Dutch we call him Vetje, which means fatso. So basically this cutscene confirms that they're lost. Boy. Then I visit the Indian again. Native American, excuse me. And then we see a cutscene of a little birdie flying there, and Peter's little boy mind is like, oh, that bird can't exist in peace, I need to catch him for the feathers. At first I had compassion with the bird, but then I realized it was the one from Aladdin, so I was like, okay, you go and slaughter that thing. I got cooked though because I didn't have the speed boost required yet, and you need that. Anyhow, that made me continue the story. So I saved the first lost boy in level 1, and he was like, here Peter, something for you. So you'll get faster or something. But he never gave me anything, so this is totally up to your imagination what they give you. Well, at least the boy can actually see dimensions. So then I completed the first level of Skull Rock, very much unaware that there was also a lost boy over there. So then we're encountering another Tinkerbell level. This time obviously in the theme of Skull Rock. Then boom, my mango is about to blow up. And then oh no, it's the ghost level. Oh, that used to be so creepy. Honestly, it's still creepy, and we'll let that bomb. Maybe he can just make it go off on command. It's such a troll. So yeah, I basically started off with full hearts. And at the end I only had like 3 left. Wait, what the fuck is happening to your voice? Anyhow, you barely missed Mr. Smee, so the ghost decides to harass him. Then they blow up together like doomed lovers or something. And then you follow Mr. Smee because he ends up in the mermaid lagoon. So then you finish that annoying little level with timed handles that you need to like pull. And we see a cutscene of poor little Mr. Smee.
The captain knows. After he read the map, he tore it to pieces. But I did see one of the pieces twirling towards the ship.
You
Thank you, Mr.
snitch.
Smee.
And then we make ourselves our way through the ship of Captain Hook, which seems specifically designed as a parkour for Peter Pan. Don't tell me they secretly don't love each other. Also, this level was so bugged the first time I played it. I swear I thought it was me, but as always it was just society. Oh wait, that was my basic answer, because my NPC and me took over. I actually meant that the door was stuck. And at one point, thank God for this, I managed to pull through. So next step, we need to go to the Indians to speak to the wise chief, because like, first of all, he needs all the help he can get. And also we need our token characters. It's not actually like that bad, honestly. But the difficulty spike here is crazy, boy. Also we can't actually reach the tribe, and instead we're like forced to like ask Tiger Lily. Yeah, something invisible was blocking the path. I would show you, but you wouldn't be able to see it anyway.
Indian legend says that when music is played, some invisible things may be revealed.
Well, that must be it. I need to get my panpipes back.
I love how he just flies with it. Also, the crocodile ate the pan flute, so now we have to fight the crocodile. Poor little thing. So basically we sprinkle some pixie dust on the crocodile as it tries to attack us. Obviously we do it 3 times 3 because that's a magic number. And then it summons with the pan flute more birdies, who may or may not be kamikaze sometimes. But they give us pixie dust, so maybe the Lost Boys bribed them. They secretly may or may not work for us. Also, this still was doable. I remembered finishing this.
Finally, we'll be able to make all the invisible things appear.
Luckily he works on cartoon logic and we didn't need to send him to a mental institution. Though I must admit sometimes there are hidden meanings in music which may actually make you see things in real life, which first were invisible to you. So that's very wise. So then after my rambling we'll see a cutscene of Smee finding his owner again, I mean captain. And then he distracts his captain again while he's trying to do a certain amount of footsteps. Honestly, they're lucky that the island is so small, otherwise they would have never found that treasure.
9, 12.
Smee.
Yes, Captain?
Whoa, this guy is invincible. Anyhow, I'm going to the tribe's village again. Now I'm throwing some pixie dust. That only works after you make something invisible visible. Basically, if something is invisible, it's also invincible. So next level. It's like, I don't know who designed this, but it seems like the Indians or like Native Americans have an endless supply of pixie dust. Also, more and more things start to become invisible. It starts to really be a pain in the ass now. And you'll have to press the flute button every 5 seconds. So then you finish the level, and then we encounter the last Tinkerbell level. Also, I love that design. I do think it does a lot of justice to the Native Americans. But then again, I'm not a Native American, so I can't really judge. Boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room. So then we have level 17. It is gonna get quite difficult from here, and you should have the speed boost at this point. You can still finish this level without, so it ain't that bad. Though these invisible things, man. Also, whoever made this anti-pirate system, they got scammed because they used the same technology as the pirates. It's like America in the Middle East fighting terrorists with American weapons. Now we were using the American weapons. Guys, English is a language. Also, we freed the second lost boy. Or like third, whatever. We can't really number them now. I don't have favorites. So after this spicy level, hell is gonna freeze over. At this point, you should free all of the lost boys.
Hiya, Chief.
Little flying eagle.
Say, have you seen a piece of a treasure map around here?
I love how he calls Peter Little Flying Eagle. So now he refers you to a magic lake. It gives life to the words that the poet uses. Sorry guys, I needed to shoehorn in an Alan Wake reference. Also, the chief warns us that there's a lot of hidden things there. So basically we should jazz our way through the level like that Michael Jackson zombie from Plants vs Zombies. Anyhow, you can find the Lost Boys at level 10 and 13. Secret Passage and Smee. Alright, now I'm ready for war. Everything is invisible. It feels like I'm being cheated on. Actually kind of really difficult. I can't believe this was like for kids. Like all the knives in the air, they're invisible. Usually the little group of mosquitoes, it almost looks like represents something invisible in the air. Ow. Also, you have to trigger 3 switches at one point. Obviously, there's a time limit, so that took me a few tries. As in, a few hours. And then, thank goodness, finally. So then we go to the lake.
Look, Tinkerbell, we're here. Lake, tell me where the last piece of the map is. I see it. It's in that boat.
So then we go back to Hook's ship. Very cool. And this time, basically all of the items are invisible. Luckily the game is getting me some slack sometimes. Also, this level sends me back and forth to open certain gates, which can be a little bit annoying, but so eventually I managed to beat the level, just spamming the fairy dust. Also, flying through the invisible items, that one heart I had left here, it was beating like crazy. Like, I could have died from a heart attack, that heart would have been gone like dust in the wind. And there we have the last piece of the map. Huzzay! So this time, we're not gonna get chased by something, but we will chase something. It's Peter Pan's shadow, get the reference? That's pretty neat. So I never got this far, thus I was sweating bullets. So I was stalking my own shadow, and eventually it turned out that it wasn't even that hard. I did kind of have to eat some damage, but that's okay. So you do have to follow it to the end of the level, you can't physically catch it. Don't worry, Peter will do it in a cutscene. So hilariously enough, it was right in front of him, but then it's actually behind him, because Captain Hook already had it. So now it's time for the final boss battle, baby. This is where we follow the captain onto his ship and use his own ammo against him. Actually kinda crazy how he follows you. Also, just spam the knife and you'll be fine. He does the same thing. So, you beat Captain Hook, and then the crocodile comes to chase him. Which is a nice little reference to the animated movie. And you find out that in the treasure chest, there's actually a golden feather. Because we didn't have enough of those yet, right? Hey, pretty neat. I love it. And there are also some clips you can find which are directly taken from the Return to Neverland movie. Thank you for watching, I hope you have a wonderful day.